everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's been a minute, I promise. I missed you guys. You know, miss like for reals. How you been? How you doing? How you doing? Who? Anyways, child. So I remember from the last video I was supposed to do a little bit more catch up on what? Oh, on the culture shock experiences, more or less. But bear with me, I still will handle that. But I think that this story that I'm about to tell is more urgent than the rest. So bear with me, bear with me. I think that one should be coming next, if I'm not wrong, I promise. I might even show you or take you outside with me, if that makes matters any better. Hey, is it a gunny? Yeah, I'll take you with me to the places I have been, and I hope that will make up for being absent and keeping you waiting. So anyways, let's just delve into it. So the reason why I think it is essential to gatekeep is because some of these things happen because you tell a lot of people what you want to do. And you gonna say, honey, what do you mean? I mean exactly that. Some of these things you're doing, you don't need to share with almost everybody. The one that you're telling, do you really have to tell them? Are they helping you in planning? No, they're not. So do they need to know? No, they don't. So why are you telling them at the end of the day? You don't even know who your ops is, but you're telling them about your plans. And that's where you go wrong. That is where you go wrong. That's the biggest mistake, I think. Personally, I think that's the biggest mistake, because if they didn't know, they can't be opposing you. I don't know if that makes sense. Anyways, I have evidence to validate my statement, because it's right here. Oh, you thought my skin was flawless? I thought so too, but anyways, child, I have a scar right above my forehead. I got it like, think I'm a tattoo. Yeah, I've had it since 2022 January 1st. Nilifungua mwaka nikifungua forehead pia. That was funny. That was really funny. And if you didn't find it funny, you must have a problem. Anyways, I'm sorry. So what happened is we went on, let me call it vacation. We went on vacation, and then we were supposed to have left. We were in Malindi. We were supposed to have left probably like a day ago, or we were supposed to leave on that day when we went to the beach. And then what happened? We didn't. So we said, since we've been to the coast and we haven't even visited the waters, what's the point of saying that we were on vacation without seeing the water? Like, we got to see Maji. Doesn't make sense. So we went, and then we got a boat, and then we took pictures, and then disclaimer, I don't know, I'm not a fish, missy juke swim kabisa. Well, I can swim a little bit, but kama hakuna rails, the ocean doesn't have rails. So kama hakuna rails, I don't know how to swim. I'm sorry. Somebody's gotta volunteer and teach me how to swim. Okay? Okay. So we get a boat, and then we go into the ocean. I wanted to say into the thick of it. But how the water's thick? The waters aren't thick, right? Yeah, waters aren't thick. So we go into the ocean, and then I think there are places in the ocean where there's a lot of water. I'm so sorry. There are places in the ocean where kuna maji mingi, and then there are places where yes kuna maji, but it's steppable. Don't know if steppable is a word, but it's steppable. Like, you can walk in that place, in that section of the ocean. because the waters are shallow. So we got to that place in the ocean, and then I forgot. Look it. Okay. So we got to that place in the ocean, and then the guide, I don't know if we should call him a captain or whatever, but akasema nini ati mneza shuka, like you can get into the water. So because I don't know how to swim, of course I'm not gonna be the first one. I don't know who jumped in first. I think my brother. And then I was like, well, I look at my sister look at me, and then we're like, unaingia kwa maji? She said, I'll go if you go. And I said, then I'll go. Of course I'm a girl. So I get into the water, and then she follows. Lada follow. Anyway, so we get into the water together, and then so the tide, I don't know if it's coming back in or going out. I mean, I don't understand, but I think it's coming in because the water is going. I think the tide was because I don't think the water went back for whatever reason. If you know, you know. Like there's a high tide, low tide. I don't know, girl. I don't know. So what happened? We get into the water, and then kuna waves sasa. So after the waves start moving in the direction of the land, I don't know if that's high tide or low tide. You tell me in the comment section. I don't know. If you know, then thank you for knowing on my behalf, because I don't know, and I don't want to make embarrassment myself, even though I already have a little bit. But so the water is going back to the mainland. Let's call it the mainland. So this guide tells us, so maji ikikuja, ruka, like jump into the waves so that you're not pushed into the deeper waters. You get. So we're like, okay, but clear, simple instructions. When you see the waves, you jump into them, like chest first. So we did that. The first one, the second one, we're like, that's not so bad. We can't swim. My sister and I can swim. Well, maybe she can right now. But congratulations, sis. Ooh. So I can swim. We can swim. We're in the water. We're in the ocean. There's no rail. There's nobody to hang on to in these waters. And this guy is like far away. I don't know why he went so far away. Well, we're right here. We don't know how to swim. He knows we don't know how to swim because we're right here because we don't know how to swim. But he left us. Just imagine. Just imagine. Hey. Anyways. As you can imagine, the waves, the tide keeps, the waves keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And then, so there's this one that hit us, and I was like, oh my god, that was so big. Hey, like this one hit us, and then I was in shock a little bit because we got pushed a little bit further. I thought that the water had increased in volume, and I was like, hey, it's time to get back into the boat. But did we get back into the boat? Honey, no, we did not get back into the boat. We stayed in the water. So this guy tells us, like, songeni mbele, like, move towards where the water is less deep, because I think he already knows how the ocean is. So he knows the perimeter of where it's deep and where it's not. So he tells us, move forward where it's less deep. Like, I bet we move, and then all of a sudden,
I want to sit back and relax and enjoy my evening. When all of a sudden, I hear this agitating, grating.
I glance in the corner of my eye, coming from this direction. Hey, and I show my sister. I'm like, look. And then this guy says, Tindole Babala. I'm like, Babala, you even have a name for it? Are you for real? And then by this time it's too late to get into the boat. Well, I should have learned the first time and got into the boat when I thought, oh, it's getting risky. I don't know how to swim. I should get back into the boat. But did I do it? No, I did not. Because Bonani bite, like, oh, because if you move, you jump, the tide will carry you. and we will not know how to find you because it is like this. You see this wave surfers, not the subway surfers, like the surfers surf the waves with. And then I think ukiruka nayo utasukumwa, like you'll be pushed inside into the deeper waters. So I'm not sure. I didn't study the science of it. At the end of the day, we are here to tell the story. You get it? So anyway, child. Yeah, that's the gist of it. So for demonstration, this is what happened. He said, don't jump into it. Just stand together. And we're next. My sister and I are side by side. Brother stutter. Why am I stuttering? What is that? Which one of you is talking about me? Huh? Which? You better talk about me. Don't do it. Hold it right now. So this is for demonstration. This is Wanjiru. Wanjiru, say hi. This is my sister and this is me. Where is my brother in this story? He's ahead of us in the deeper waters ahead of us. Because why? Because apparently he learned how to swim. Nyokes. Apparently he learned how to swim before us. So this is my sister, this is I. And then we're like, hold me. I'm holding you. I never gonna let you go. Not in the waters.
Don't forget, I'm also just a girl standing in front of a boy.
So the wave comes and then ushapigwa na maji, like the water slapped me across the face. So I'm like, oh. So and then the impact is too much. Like we sat in the ocean floor, we sat on the floor, and then somewhere in between the impact of being slapped by the water and sitting on the ocean floor, something hits me on the head. I'm like, oops, shana nanigonga na elbow kwa nini? Wanjiru, I thought you hit me with your elbow on my face. Then later I calculated, I'm like, 2 + 2 is 4. I'm holding you like this. Your elbow can't be on my face. So I'm sorry. So I'm like, hey, elbow tena kwa uso. What is that? I'm holding you for comfort and you hit me with an elbow on my face? Well, I understand it's an accident, but on my face? Alafu, as you can feel, the water imepita because we're inside the water now. I'm like, oh, sichana niachilie na ameniumiza forehead. So I think I let her go. I'm like, hey, leave me alone now. You can't hurt me and let me stay in the ocean floor with you. Leave me. So I leave her on the ocean floor and then I resurface like Alejandro. Woo! So I resurface and then this girl we're with, her name is, well, she's a family friend. I don't know if I'm supposed to take her name or not, but she's like, oh my god, you're bleeding. And I'm like, who's bleeding? What's bleeding? Where's bleeding? And I'm like, because I thought the impact has hit and finally there's bleeding. I'm like, oh my god, I'm not bleeding. Finally, JJ. Because I never nosebleed before. So I'm like this, thinking I'm nosebleeding. So this captain guy, no, what do they call him? This guide shows up and then he's like, and I'm like, is it that bad? Is it that bad? It can't be that serious. Is it? Is it that serious? Me, personally, I'm thinking I'm just bleeding. Oh. So he carries me for whatever happened, for whatever reason. I held on to him for dear life. This is him. This is me. So my head is on his shoulder. Put my head on his shoulder was not just the song that day. I practiced it. I don't even know if I knew that song day, but I put my head on his shoulder. So this is his shoulder. This is my head. This is me holding him for dear life. I don't even know if you can see. Holding on as if my life depended on it. Maybe it did, but maybe it didn't. So I even crossed my legs. Oh, I'm sorry. I crossed my legs across his body. Woo! Kama nimepata flashbacks. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's, oh, when I think about it, huh? It's like there's something
It's like there's something.
wrong. So I have my legs crossed. I guess literally I'm like this, like a toddler holding on for dear life onto a stranger I never met before. I hope I will never meet him again. Because that was embarrassing, guys. It was embarrassing. I know it was a matter of life and death, but that was embarrassing. So I'm holding on to him, and then so my sister finally resurfaces from the ocean floor. My coffee. So she's like, hey, from her point of view now, after she's like, hey, who nina anadu? What's this girl doing? And then I think he turns when this guy is trying to get me to the boat so that when I find first aid. So I turn a little bit, then she sees blood and she's like, oh, my bad, I'm sorry. So hey, they get me onto a boat and I'm like, why y'all looking at me like it's so serious? It's never that serious. Like hata sisikia uchungu, like nifanyeni first aid haraka haraka nirudi kwa maji. Put me back in the field, coach. Put me back into the field. And then I start thinking, it's an ocean. Like sharks smell what? Sharks smell blood. Yeah, so I'm thinking sharks smell blood. There's gonna be a shark here soon. I'm like, oh, finally gonna see a shark. Ah. I didn't see a shark though. Sad. But anyways, they start first aiding me. Mr. Hardy. So in the middle of all this, where the oversharing things comes in, is when before I got into the water, I took a snap. I took a video and then I shared it on my, what's it called? Yeah, I shared it as a streak. And then I got into the water. So maybe I should have shared the streak after leaving the water, so that anything that was supposed to happen wouldn't have happened. Maybe if I had shared that after, it wouldn't be like this right now. Can you see it? Look at my eyes. Look into my eyes. I play too much. Anyways, so that's the gist of it. That's why I can't tell you about everything I do now, because I had to get stitches on my forehead. Also, my story is everywhere. Here the endings. After I get onto the boat, a relative starts calling. I'm like, that's a little suspicious because you haven't talked to us in a hot minute. So all of a sudden, this happens like almost simultaneously. This happens, and then ring, 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 ring. She called my mama. And I'm like, why are you calling my mama after I got hurt? Is there something you want to tell us, Mr. Holmes? Well, is there something you want to tell us? Person starts calling. Then I'll be like, Mko. We tell her, we're just to go within. What do you need? Is there anything you want? Like, Mko api mnadu? So, we tell her that we're fine. Everything's fine because we can't tell you where we're at. Because that was a little suspicious. So the person or whatever happened is that I collided with this other babe that said, oh my god, she's bleeding. She had a chin, like she had a chin stitch too, because she hit me with her chin on my face. I'm like, you must have a really hard chin. She got stitches too over here, and I got over here. But I'm like, hers was better because she could hide it. I can't. Anyways, moral of the story is learn to share less. If I probably shared that snap or that streak after what? after I left the site, whatever it is that I was in, maybe this wouldn't have happened. But guess we'll never know. At the moment, I am focused on not telling even key events. As long as it hasn't happened and you are not in my nitpick circle, guess what? I don't know, I'm gonna tell you. Only my manipulating. Guess what? I'm not squamby. Not squamby. I'm not telling you. You must. She must. So, you don't need to know. If it's on a have to know basis, then bet I'll tell you. But if it's not on a need to know, it's on a want to know, I ain't gonna tell you. You go have to catch me in the act for me to confess and tell you, oh, even though we'll go. Otherwise, before that, it is what it is. So don't get mad. Don't get mad. It's not my fault. I am still traumatized. Imagine bado sijarudi kwa maji till date because of this. I ain't never gone back into the waters, guys. Anyways, that's all for now. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and tell your fellow friends to stop sharing things that are not essential for other people to know. The thing's called monitoring spirits, and you don't know who is a monitoring spirit disguised as a person. So stop oversharing. You don't need to do all that. If it's not essential, chana nayo.